How do you get over the paralysis of analysis? So someone who analyzes things way too much or overthinks way too much.
And then they just get paralyzed.
Well, as Panache Desai said, he said, life happens when you move, stagnation happens when you die. You got to participate in your own rescue, and at the end of the day, you're living in a body that's going to die. So what you have to decide is what you're going to do today to get from where you are to where you want to be, because you're going to die eventually. It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to die anyways. So you might as well spend your life being productive at things that are fun, that you enjoy, that you're passionate about, because you get better at it. And the better you get at things through repetition and learning and refining, the more competent you become. And you get paid based upon the value that you bring to the marketplace. You get paid for your reserve of knowledge and developing your gifts, your skills, and your talents. And the more knowledge you have, and the more you have skills and talents, or as Scott Adams calls a talent stack, the more you're going to have choices to get paid and compensated accordingly. And obviously, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you choices. And one of the nice things about being successful and having money is that you have control of your time. You can do whatever you want every day. And like working with you guys, it's like I try to give you guys the freedom to, I'm sleeping in today, I'm working today, I'm going out of town this week or whatever. It's like, I share that with the people in my life and the people that I work with as well, is because you're going to do your best work when you're relaxed. And if I can do things to help keep all my peeps relaxed, they're going to be at their best. Because if you're stressed and you're making decisions, your decisions are inefficient and they'll bring about more stressful conditions in your lives.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just honestly really obvious answers. Like, oh, it's how to stop overanalyzing is just to do. Just stop.
You have to take action.
Yeah,
Inaction breeds fear and doubt. Taking action breeds confidence and courage, as it was Dale Carnegie said.
You have to stop from thinking in your head, and you want to start thinking in your heart, kind of.
But it's one thing. It's one thing to
one thing.
It's one.
I mean, love you long time.
I love you, Drake.
It's one thing to say to do it, and it's another to actually do it. A lot of people, I feel, are aware of that kind of stuff. It's just a matter of how can they go about actually starting. Because that's what I want to know.
Dude, that's the thing. It's literally just
the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
It's just hard because you think you can't do it, but then once you actually do it, you're like, oh wow, this is actually the easiest thing. And
I'm talking about the process.
Okay, so what are the painful? What are the pain? Here, you have to think psychology-wise. What are the painful consequences if I don't do what I know I need to do today? So, like, say you've made an epiphany and you're like, I'm going to lose 50 pounds or 20 pounds or whatever. You have to discipline yourself. And so you got to think, okay, well, what if I don't discipline myself? What if I keep stuffing my face full of garbage? I'm going to get fatter. I'm going to get more unattractive. I'm going to have less dating choices. Less people are going to want to hang out with me. I'm going to have more health problems. I'm not going to feel as good. I'm not going to have as much energy. And the most important thing a human being needs is their health. Because when you have health and you have high energy, you will take action even when you don't feel like it. You mentally feel better and you physically feel better when you train with weights and you do some kind of cardio type of exercise and you eat an alkaline type based diet with plenty of protein and nuts and carbs and things of that nature. But you give your body enough of the things that it needs to neutralize the metabolic acids to keep you as healthy as possible. And when you do that, you don't get worn down by colds or the flu or those kinds of things, and you have more energy, you need less sleep, you're more efficient because you feel better, you're willing to work longer, and work doesn't feel like a drag because you feel like crap physically, you feel energized. When you feel energized, you take more action, you're more efficient, you make more progress. Discipline equals freedom, as Jocko Willink says. It's true.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that it's very important to be moving your body, and in today's society, a lot of people don't physically move. You're sitting down a lot, you're not as active as you were 20, 40, 50 years ago. People aren't like walking.
5 years ago, we're talking about, I mean, people
I
in their
mean,
20s, same thing. They maybe were, like for
just
us, a
giving.
lot of us worked out in high school because we wanted to look good. We wanted to get
Mhm.
girls to be fit. And then most people, by the time they're 25, they never ever go in a gym again. And it just,
But even if you
and
look
they
at
just,
it,
they house.
even if you look at it like on a larger scale, I think like people in general are just moving less. And I mean, being a yoga teacher, I think it's super important to move your body in specific poses and um, ways that you're not going to move on like a day-to-day basis, because you want to move that stagnant energy. You want to make sure there's like no buildup of lactic acid. You want to like move the fascia, and just when you're doing all of this, you find yourself just feeling better afterwards. Yes, you're going to be like a little tired. Sometimes you're going to have more energy, but you'll realize that with the continued practice, you're just going to have like a buildup of more energy throughout your days, and you're going to feel better. And when you feel better, you look better and you give off that vibe. So you just need to do whatever it is that, you know, helps you start this.
What are you going to miss out on? What are the painful consequences you're going to experience? What's it going to cost you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now in your relationships or your body, or not meeting your dreams or making your
Right.
dreams happen? How does that feel, thinking about the fact you're never going to accomplish the big things you want? It doesn't feel good. That feels painful. Human beings tend to move away from pain and towards things that can bring them pleasure. But the interesting thing is, I think it was Aristotle that first said this, is that people do more to avoid pain than they do to gain pleasure. And so if you understand that, you can think in terms of when you feel like being lazy because that feels good, you think, okay, there's consequences for being lazy. There's consequences for not working out or eating healthy or putting your resume together so you can find a better job or a better paying job, or maybe you go to school because it's going to help you get a specific job that it's worthwhile to, if you're going to borrow money or spend money on a degree, that you'll earn enough that the cost of getting the degree is peanuts. So you have to look at all of those things. You have to take some action, because if you don't have a mission and purpose that is exciting and compelling, you're not, success is making progress in life. And so if you don't feel like you're making progress, you're not going to feel very happy. You feel like you're just kind of stagnant.